The holographic projector flickered to life in the center of the war room, casting pale blue light across Admiral Sarah Chen's weathered features. 7 alien faces materialized before her, the remnants of the Galactic Council that had once numbered in the hundreds. Their expressions ranged from desperate hope to barely contained terror as they gazed upon the human who had become the embodiment of their nightmares. "Admiral Chen," began Counselor Veltar, his 4 eyes blinking, in rapid succession, a sign of extreme distress among his species. "We invoke the ancient laws of surrender. Our fleets are broken, our worlds burn, we ask for mercy." Chen remained motionless in her command chair, fingers steepled before her face. The silence stretched across the quantum communication link, each passing second another drop of ice in the Council's collective veins. Behind her, the tactical display showed the current state of the war in stark, unforgiving detail. Red markers indicating human fleets positioned around every major council world, their weapons powered and ready. It had been 3 years since the Council made their fatal miscalculation. 3 years since they declared humanity a pest species to be exterminated for the crime of expanding too quickly through their precious galaxy. They had expected easy victory against the newcomers. After all, humans had barely achieved faster than light travel a century ago. While the Council races had ruled the stars for millennia, they had not expected the sleeping giant they awakened. "You speak of mercy," Chen finally said, her voice carrying the weight of 1 billion human graves. "Tell me, Counselor, did the children on New Geneva ask for mercy when your plasma bombardment turned their atmosphere to poison? Did the colonists on Kepler Station plead for their lives as your forces vented them into space?" The Counselor's translator struggled with the emotion in her voice, rage refined into something colder and more terrible than simple anger. "Admiral, please," interjected Counselor Zethkri, her crystalline form resonating with harmonic desperation. "Those were military actions in a declared war. We followed the accepted protocols of..." "Protocols?" Chen's laugh was like the crack of breaking ice. "You glassed 17 civilian colonies. You hunted down evacuation ships filled with refugees. You broadcast the executions across every human world to demonstrate the futility of resistance." She leaned forward, and even through the holographic projection, her presence seemed to fill the room where the Council cowered. "You wanted to show us what futility looked like. Mission accomplished." The display behind Chen shifted, showing the progression of human military doctrine over the course of the war. At first, humanity had tried to fight by the Council's rules: surgical strikes, military targets only, the preservation of civilian infrastructure. Those tactics had earned them nothing but dead worlds and the mockery of their enemies. Then humanity had stopped playing by anyone else's rules. "We studied your history," said Counselor Morden, his tentacles writhing in patterns that conveyed abject submission. "We know your species is capable of compassion, of mercy. Your own wars ended when..." "Our own wars," Chen interrupted, "were fought between humans. We understood each other's capacity for suffering because we shared it. But you?" She gestured to the cowering figures. "You made it very clear that you see us as something less than people. Pests, you called us. Vermin to be exterminated." The Admiral stood, her movement causing several of the counselors to flinch visibly. On the wall behind her, a memorial display showed the faces of the dead, the 100 billion human souls whose only crime had been existing in a galaxy where older species had decided there wasn't room for them. "The Veltari extinction protocols you used on our colonies were thorough," Chen continued conversationally. "We've spent considerable time studying them, learning from them, improving upon them." She touched a control pad, and new tactical information flowed across the display. "Our Xenobiological Warfare Division has made remarkable advances. Targeted viruses, atmospheric processors, gravitational weaponry that can crack a planet's core. We've become quite creative." "Admiral, we surrender." Veltar's voice cracked across multiple harmonic frequencies. "Unconditional surrender. We'll withdraw from all human territories. We'll pay reparations." "Will you?" Chen asked mildly. "And when we turn our backs to rebuild, when we lower our guard to show that mercy you're so fond of invoking, what then?" Another council session to decide that humans have grown too powerful? Another preemptive strike to cut us down before we become a threat? The silence that followed was answer enough. Your mistake, Chen said softly, was believing that mercy is weakness. That because humans could choose restraint, we always would. You confused our compassion for our own kind with universal pacifism. You forgot that the same species that could create poetry and music and art could also perfect the art of total war. She walked closer to the holographic projectors, and her presence loomed over the diminished council like a giant over insects. You wanted to teach us our place in your galaxy, she continued. Consider the lesson learned, but you'll find our curriculum somewhat different from yours. Counselor Zethkree's crystalline form flickered with desperate hope. Then you will accept our surrender? Admiral Chen's smile was barely visible, but it chilled the blood of every being watching. Oh, I'll accept it. Every council world, every fleet, every colony. Unconditional surrender. And then we'll see just how well your species adapts to the reservation worlds we've selected for you. Reservations? Morden whispered. Carefully monitored, strictly controlled. Your populations will be managed. Your technological development will be overseen. Your expansion will be permanently curtailed. Chen's expression never changed. You wanted to decide whether other species deserve to exist. Now we'll make that decision for you. The holographic connection flickered as power failed on several council worlds. The human fleets had begun their work. This is not mercy, Veltar said with what dignity he had left. No, Admiral Chen agreed. It isn't, but it's more than you gave us. The transmission ended, leaving the Admiral alone with the weight of necessary choices. Outside her viewports, the human fleet stretched across the darkness like a constellation of judgment, every ship carrying the hopes and memories of a species that had learned, too late for their enemies, that sometimes the most dangerous predator is one that chooses to be civilized until it chooses not to be.